name the session as the heart of everything. Okay, while many of us in business and in work believe that logic is essential and IQ, you definitely need to have to grow. There's no doubt about it. But what really, takes you places and moves you from good to great is the feelings and the emotions, which I'm just going to share with you. I'll be happy to take any questions you have, maybe after the 20 minutes. So if it is okay, you can quickly jot down your thoughts in the chat box so that you don't forget the question. And once I'm done, I can, answer all of them for you. So before we start, just a quick thing about RadicalEdge Learning Consultants. When I was really, quitting corporate and after working 21 years in corporate, I was wondering like what to do. And because of some personal tragedy as well as official strategic movement, I had to take a call. And I knew that this is what I want to do. And when I wanted to do, so one of my purpose of life, right, I keep doing this exercise every January, is touch people, touching lives. That word touch is actually the purpose that I have in whatever way it can be. It can be through facilitation, through coaching, through listening, mentoring, and sometimes you just be that soundboard. So whatever way possible, I touch the people's life, and that's my mantra. So we started in 2016. Like I said, I wanted to be unique and different. I didn't want to be doing same leadership programs which I was doing in corporate. So what I infused is any program of mine has infusion of EI. Be it influencing skills, I talk about EI. Be it selling skills, I talk about EI. So any of my programs, you will see a huge infusion of emotional intelligence. So saying that, I want to ask you all, what do you think is emotional intelligence? It's been overrated, like many say, and we've been talking about this for quite some time. In fact, in 1995, when Daniel Goleman wrote that book, it broke everybody's strong thoughts that IQ is the only thing you need to grow high. So here you have this man, Daniel Goleman, who says, well, that ain't true. It is EQ. So I want to ask you, what do you think of emotional intelligence? What comes to your mind?
The ability to understand your own emotions and that of others.
Brilliant, Saloni. Indeed, yes. It all starts with us.
To go
In
deeper,
fact,
deeper,
yes.
below the water level. You see, when you see some amount, you see an iceberg, you see only 15% of it visible above the water. 85% is below the water.
Absolutely.
So most of it is below the water level. What is not apparent has to be dug up.
True. So I asked this question to a primary school student when I was doing a talk on, emotions to the children. And I asked them, what do you think is emotional intelligence? And I came across a beautiful statement, which really blew my mind. There was a little boy who told me in the class that you don't allow emotion to be intelligent with you. You are intelligent with the emotion. And that is actually what it is. You do not allow emotions or feelings to, overwhelm you. Rather, you manage the emotions and ensure that it does not influence in its own simple way. But here is actually the science, the definition. So it is the ability to perceive, like rightly, the iceberg analogy is going beyond what is obvious. So you perceive it when you look at someone, you understand, you're able to express, reason, and manage emotions with oneself and others. In fact, a lot of people say that you need to control emotions. So straight away, I'm going to request you as we start the month of May, if any one of you think that you should control emotions, please don't, because you unnecessarily then invite guests like hypertension, diabetes, and stress and whatnot. You don't have to control emotions because it's part and parcel of who we are as human. However, what you can do is manage the emotions. Now, that's the key in emotion intelligence. It's not controlling, it's actually managing emotions with oneself and others. If you apply EI at work, it is how intelligently you work with your emotions, or you use emotions to get positive results. So if you really understand this concept, then it becomes easier for you to sort of use it. So I'm going to give you all a quick activity, and I need a paper pencil, or if you are using a phone or whatever, you can chuck it up. What I want you to do is, right now the time on my watch is 9:12. So I'm assuming yesterday, 9 o'clock. So yesterday morning, 9 o'clock till today morning, 9 o'clock. I want you all to write down all the feelings that you went through. All right. It's called 24 hours activity. 60 seconds to pen down your feelings in the last 24 hours. Please go ahead. I'm timing, and let me, your time starts now. Just jot down whatever feelings comes to your mind. I'm timing, so I have that 1 minute. From yesterday morning 9 o'clock till today morning 9 o'clock, how many feelings come to your mind? Just keep writing. "30 seconds pass by. You have another 30. You have last 10 seconds. All right. We're almost close to 60 seconds. You have last 4 seconds. So here it is. What I want you to do is, I want you to go to the chat box and quickly tell me what are the total number of feelings you had or emotions you had. Or you can unmute and tell, or you can go to the chat box. Totally up to you. Oh my, okay. 6, 7, 4,
Uh,
3.
can I tell? Like, can I speak?
Of course.
Okay, so it was a Sunday, so I was very relaxed in the morning, and then I had a great sense of satisfaction because I went for shopping. It's like a boost for me, emotional booster. So I was alone at the shopping mall, so I was like free, like a free bird. I could hop from one shop to another. So it gave me a lot of immense satisfaction. It's from my field. It's related with fashion, so I really like it. And then I was gripped with anxiety because two of my appointments got clashed. Unknowingly, I gave one time to two people. So that gave me a lot of anxiety. I'm still not over it. I have to solve this problem. So that was the router. Thank you.
Thank you. So Sanjeev says there are 5 types of feelings. So thank you everyone for this one. What I'm going to do now is, I'm going to give you a prompt. And then I want you to, also in that feelings that you have written down, pull out the pleasant and unpleasant feeling. Just write P and U. And once you've done that, I'm now going to share with you a prompt. I want you to use this and then go back to the same 24 hours, but use this prompt. I'm going to place it for you here, and your time starts now. Now I want you to spend a little more time looking at this and always go from here to here. So it's like this. You start from center and then you go this side. Right? So let's start with the basic feelings: mad, scared, joyful, powerful, peaceful, sad, and then go beyond. Now using this prompt, your time starts now. Same 24 hours. How are you feeling? Go ahead and quickly use the prompt, and then same 24 hours. How are you feeling? You have last 10 seconds.
Actually, ma'am, if you'll allow, whenever you, I just take a minute to just explain my contrasting feelings that happened. I'm just a little intrigued because, anyway, depending on time.
Yeah, sure. I think maybe once I'm done, you can definitely, we
Yeah.
have 10 minutes to talk, yeah? So if you notice with this prompt, can I please request you all to give me the total number? And is there a change between the first and the second? What is the total number using the prompt? Has it changed? Okay. So Anu, since you said there is no change, have you changed the feelings? And that goes with Mrudul as well. It's not about the number. It's about articulating it exactly how you're feeling. Because many of us get into these conversations of just talking basic, which people don't get it. For example, I'm sad. What do you make out of it? But if I say I'm pensive, or I'm feeling isolated, or I feel stupid, I feel guilty, then there's more conversation happening. So for people who there is change in the feelings, I'm glad, because it should be, because you're going from 1, 2, 3. For example, there was sad, anxiousness, and from there, anxiousness, what else you're going? For example, Anu said, anxious. Is she overwhelmed? So you get deeper again. So there are two things out of this prompt. One is you learn the language of articulating feelings correctly. Because many times where we have concern, whether in work-life relationships or professional or personal relationship, is why you're not able to articulate exactly how you feel. So people just use the basic. In fact, a lot of people use okay, good, fine. In fact, the three are thoughts. They're not even feelings. So when you say those things, it just doesn't help anyone understand what you're going through. So one, as a giveaway, you can go to Google and download Feelings Wheel. And please start articulating feelings exactly how you feel. Now that makes you automatically empathetic as well, because the more feelings you know, you're able to connect to people better. So that is one reason that I wanted to do this activity for you. And remember, it's not about the number. In fact, when I do this activity with children, which is primary school and middle school children, you can take a guess, they actually easily have around 15 to 20 feelings and emotions, which comes naturally for them to say. And as we grow up, we add so many things to our experiences that we forget the basic. So this is a good way to go back and start articulating. Now, before we go ahead, and this is something which everyone should understand, because there's a lot of confusion when it comes to emotions, feelings, and mood. Let me start firstly with emotions. First of all, you don't have control on emotions, because emotions is a chemical reaction in the brain. It happens in less than 6 seconds. It's very intense and it has specific triggers. For example, if maybe I had bad experiences, say for example, cycling, and every time I look at the cycle, the emotion, there's a chemical trigger in my brain. All right. However, that's just one time. And like you can't just, control it or manage it. It just happened. However, what you need to really look at is the feelings. Okay, I fell down in a cycle when I was a kid. I had bad experience. I bruised my legs. I have a mark. And even now when I think of cycle, I really get jittery. I get anxious. I sweat a bit and I just dislike cycle. Example. Right? Now, how I react to it now, the feelings is something that I can manage. Because I have a child at home. If I take my cycle experience and give it to him, he may also get the same. So when he started cycling, I had to tell myself, you know what, it's really okay. It's okay. I know you're anxious. You had this bad time. That's fine. Just give it a, shot for your son and just be with him. So I had to, do a lot of self-talk, and that is the reaction to the emotions. And this is where you can manage a lot. So please remember that emotion is straight away a chemical reaction and you don't have any control. It just happens less than 6 seconds. I don't want to get into the chemical names and the whole process. That's too technical. But where you can really do something is your reaction to the emotion. Okay. And this can be reworked. And continuously, if you think of that, then that becomes the mood. And it can last for a long time. So it makes us either melancholic or it makes us happy and excited. And every time you think of your childhood food, I am sure the mood becomes all right because you associate the feeling with that food. So this is very, very important for you to understand that feelings is critical. And that's where you can manage completely. Many times as business leaders, as well as working in corporates, we think that strategy, business plan is critical. Of course, yes, without a doubt. But also Peter Drucker says, culture eats strategy for breakfast. That means if you don't have a culture of empathy, you don't have a culture of listening, you don't place people first, irrespective of the best of the strategy that you have, it all goes down the drain because you don't have people to work for you. So please remember, one of the major concerns of attrition is, I've done a lot of surveys in the past when I was working with the corporates. And now, even now, I do a lot of consultancy when it comes to emotional intelligence. One of the things that I notice is line managers or senior leaders or business heads don't listen. And that's why Stephen Covey said, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Seek first to understand. Understand, like how Zaloni and Asta, both of them said, in empathy and emotion, it's not about your perspective. You leave your bias, your judgment, everything away. Purely listen to somebody from what they're trying to say. In fact, there's this analogy or an anecdote that I remember of Priyanka Chopra. I'm sure all of you know her. When she was a 5-year-old kid going to KG class, their parents got shifted to, to one of the army barrack, and they had their names fixed up. So there was a father's name and then a mother's name, both doctors. And when she saw that, she said, why you don't have my name? And she goes to say that, her father really listened to her. He didn't show her saying, oh, come on, did you hear what she said? How silly, how stupid. You're a baby, you're a KG class. In fact, the next day, that board was changed to have her name saying KGB class. And that's for me, is listening. Listening irrespective of age, listening irrespective of experience, listening irrespective of who the other person is. And that's what takes us to the next level of running successful businesses, successful and long-term sustainable companies. So to summarize what I was saying, this is a little bit of neuroscience. This is to tell you that even people who say, no, Vanitha, our emotions, there's a lot of research done. In fact, neuroscience is one of my hobbies as well. I keep reading a lot of research papers. It's very, very clear. If you actually fold your hand, it very clearly says, this is our monkey brain, which is the amphibian brain, which just react. For example, I think I say, so that happens here. And then when it goes to the emotions, if you notice, the pink one that you see here is the amygdala. And that's why this is such an important piece, the amygdala. That's why they say amygdala hijack. Emotions just hijack you, right? So, and then comes the logic brain, which is this part. So if you are only appealing to logic with data, research, facts, you're only appealing to the small part. Whereas if you talk about, keeping emotions, it's actually to the whole part of the brain. So please remember, if there is an event, for example, in Bangalore, it's actually today, it's been raining from morning. There's no sun. And today we wanted to go out because it's a holiday. And when it started raining in the morning, I said, oh my God. So one, that event happened rain. It's going to my emotion. Now, either I can take it as good respite in the summer, I'm feeling good, or I can take it as, how do I go out shopping? Depending on how I take that incident, it creates things, and then our thinking brain comes. So even if I feel, okay, it's raining, how do I go out? I can make arrangements. Either I can go by Uber, no need to drive. I can take umbrella, or I can do something else which runs about. So please remember, as much as we think decisions are made logically, it definitely works on emotions. And that's why every single decision you take, it takes a lot, because emotions influence decision, behavior, and performance. And this is exactly what you told about iceberg, right? What's beneath. When you see people making assumptions, remember they are feeling uncertain. If you see people who are aggressive, they are stressed. If you see people who are reactive, they are anxious. People are only problem focused, they are worried. And people who keep blaming everybody else are fearful. So what we do is, most of the time in organization, we address the top part. Okay. But we forget to address the one that people are going through. And that's why in an agile environment, be it in your business or in companies, when you see people engage with one another, they are the most purpose, they have the purpose. You see people care for each other, they feel valued. If you feel your employees are solution focused, that means you're more informed, knowledgeable. And if you see them innovate, they are empowered. So the point for you is that what kind of feelings do you want to get in the organization that can make people innovative, that can make people connected, and that can make people more solution focused and not problem, because problems will be there. That's part and parcel of life. But where my energy and focus is what is the key in terms of solution. So the question here is, how can you create an environment at your workplace or your home where your people feel these? And to give a quick tip, it all starts from the emotion wheel. The more you articulate to people, people copy paste it, right? So your family members reply back to you. They say, "Oh, okay, I get what you're talking. I get you. So let me come back." So in fact, when my son was much younger, he's of course in teenage right now. Um, I I actually got into EI because of that. I wanted him to start articulating exactly how he feels because I keep traveling most of the time. I'm hardly at home. And when I talk on the phone, I quickly want to know how he's feeling. And that helps me as a mother to sort out a lot of things very conveniently. So please remember, firstly, all emotions are neutral because it's a chemical reaction. So there's no good, bad in emotions. Emotions influence our thoughts, behaviors, decisions, and performance. Articulate feeling which can deepen and strengthen your conversation. So I want to end by saying that this brilliant thought that feelings drive thoughts, thoughts drive action. Always remember this. And that's why self awareness of knowing what you're feeling at any moment is extremely critical. Extremely. Otherwise, you'll not be able to manage anything at all because feelings literally drives us.